Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at our Yakima Roof Rack with the JetStream crossbars and the baseline towers for your 2019 Ford Fiesta Sedan. So having a smaller sedan like the Ford Fiesta doesn't mean you can't carry around the fun accessories. If you want to carry around, let's say, a kayak or a roof box or even a roof-mounted bike rack, then you need a roof rack system. So there's a bunch of different options for your sedan. This is going to be the Yakima JetStream and baseline combination. This one is a little trickier to install, so stick around if you want to see the install process. The perks of it though is you get more crossbar spread and a more level surface, plus this can work with your other Yakima accessories. So let's take some measurements with it on our car to see if it is the right fit for you. So with the Yakima crossbar, since they have an open track underneath, you can actually get an even longer crossbar if you want. They do recommend a 50-inch just because you still get some overhang, about 2¼ inches to be exact, but it's not too long where you're just hitting your head when you're getting into the car. This probably has the longest crossbar spread compared to those other brands. That's because the flat area of your Ford Fiesta isn't that far apart. The Yakima baseline towers can tilt though, so you can put them further apart. You are stuck to a fixed point though. So measuring from half or the middle part of a crossbar to the other, we have a 33-inch crossbar spread. So usually things like roof boxes or roof baskets require a specific spread. Double check yours. There's also two roof measurements you'll want to remember. One is going to be the distance from the top of the roof to the bottom of the bar. Here we have it at about 2½ inches in the center. So if you have clamps or U-bolts and wing nuts that go around, you'll want enough space for that. 2½ inches is pretty normal, so that's a good amount. Now the next is going to be the height added to the top of the roof. Here we have it just past 3½. That's where your cargo sits. So let's say you have skis with extra tall bindings, you want enough clearance there. If you find you don't have enough clearance, then you can take a look at our accessories that give you that extra height. Of Yakima's crossbars, I like the JetStream bars because they're the modern aero design. So compared to your round and square crossbars, which are more traditional, those had a lot of wind drag, a lot of wind noise when going down the highway. These are more sleek and they are less noisy when driving down. Plus, you have some other features like the T-track channel. If you take off the end cap, you get access into that T-track. Now here, some other brands require that you cut up the wind strip, but you just push down for the Yakima JetStream bars and you can slide those accessories through. If you choose to, you can get a lock core put into the tower, but once you take that end cap off, you now have access to the tower and you can then take the entire system off from here. This also utilizes a custom fit kit, which has the pad as well as the hook. Now the hook just goes into your door. It's custom fit so you can slam your door on it without any issues. Just make sure you get the right one. So here at eTrailer, we have a fit guide. Put your year, make, model, and then search for our roof racks, and then we kit everything together for you. That's the crossbar, the tower, and the appropriate fit kit for your vehicle. So my personal thoughts about the Yakima roof rack system is it really depends on the level of comfort you have with installing a roof rack. This one's a little tricky. Even I get a little confused sometimes with all the different measurements and all the different settings. But once you do get it onto your roof, it works great. You have a longer crossbar spread, you have a very sleek system, and you have a strong tower as well as crossbar. So there's really pros and cons to it. If you want something more simple, definitely check out something like the Inno roof rack system. I did do some videos right here on our car if you want to compare. But otherwise, if you like Yakima roof racks, have other Yakima accessories, this is a great option for you. So this has almost everything you need to install it. You're going to get the included tool, which has a torque setting, Things not included are going to be those lock cores I mentioned earlier, as well as a tape measure to make sure everything gets lined up. So grab yours and let's install this. So the install process can be really confusing, especially since this has a lot of adjustability to it compared to some other brands. But that's what this video is for. I'm going to guide you through that process. I actually already installed the rear crossbar, and we will install the front crossbars together. The very first thing you need to do is set up your towers. So you have this metal plate, and then you have this adjustable piece. So this piece pops into the tower top, and make sure it clicks through just like that, and then place this on top. In order to thread through, you are going to have to do this where you open up that door, and then you can access it from underneath. Just barely tighten that down just so it's threaded on there, so that you still have enough space for it to slide onto your crossbar. There's actually numbers printed on your crossbar, so just follow your instructions. It'll tell you where to line up your tower. In our case here, we're going to line this up to 37. In the center of your crossbar, you're going to have an arrow, so make sure the arrow is facing away from you. I added some paint there so it's more visible. Now with the arrow facing away from you, you can now adjust the tilt of your towers. So A will be up top, then B in the center, C is on the bottom. Once you have it at the tilt you need, then just tighten that down. Then get the pad and then pop that onto the tower. You want that arrow facing out. Make sure you hear the click. Then set your toe angle. So here we have it at toe angle number 1, and then tighten down that middle bolt. Then there's going to be measurements for where you're going to put your crossbars. So here our measurement is, this is going to be M2, and it says 8 inches, which means from your window and then go back, you're going to want to set your crossbar 8 inches from your windshield. With the rubber pads on the bottom, you can then gently place your crossbars onto your roof and then line that up with that measurement you just took. You also have the choice to put a sticker down to mark your place if you want to. Now that everything's lined up, open up that door on the tower, get your hook, and just snap it into place. So it should go from underneath and into that hook. Now bring the hook down and tighten it down with your included tool. Now I do recommend tightening it down evenly on each side, meaning maybe do halfway on the driver's side, 75% passenger side. Go back and forth so that you don't pull the whole thing one way to another. If you're using your Yakima torque wrench, this has a 3.5 Newton meter torque setting. So pretty much all of your bolts, whether it's the toe bolt, the pitch bolt, or our hook bolt, they should all be tightened down until you hear that torque wrench go off. So you'll hear that click, do it twice like a gas cap. Your final step is just to make sure everything's popped back in, put those doors back into place, and then put your end cap on as well. Once everything's tightened down, just don't forget to pop everything back in, including that door, and then pop that end cap on as well. If you're using the same key system, meaning you have a bunch of Yakima lock cores, this is the time where you replace those plastic ones with your metal ones. Those are sold separately, so plan ahead of time. But other than that, with everything tightened down, everything locked up, if that's the choice you're going for, that's it for the install. Good job, you're ready to hit the road. And that right there was a look at the Yakima Roof Rack with the 50-inch long JetStream crossbars and the custom fit kit for your 2019 Ford Fiesta Sedan.